hello to Spiros and to Hectoras for today. This section, the fifth one, the way I see the course right now, is the first section of a new set of videos, of the second, I think, set of videos. Because we have gone from Domi and Domiki to Domisi. So now it's how to build the player based on what we have seen until now. Okay, so now it's how to do it in the court. Until now, we have seen some theoretical things. We have also seen some very important tools about the way we are supposed to use now these tools that we will present in this section about how to train players in the court. For example, the reference points, the mechanism, which are not only theoretical, they also determine the way we will use the methods presented here. For example, when I show the shot teaching mechanism, this is based, of course, on the reference points and on the mechanism. I cannot take, and this is very crucial, I cannot take the reference points and or the mechanism of the shot and try to teach the shots based on them alone. No, that's not their job. Their job is to predetermine how we will use, how we will apply the shot teaching mechanism. So it is important for the shot teaching mechanism to know, for example, where the reference points are, or how the what is the mechanism of the movement, so that we can actually teach the shot in the way presented in the shot teaching mechanism, because now it is the mechanism, the essence, exactly the way the mechanism of the movement is the essence of the movement. Okay, if we remove everything else, if we remove all the sauce, okay, all the styles and forms and tactics and everything else, what remains in the end, it's a condensed essence, it's the mechanism of the shot. Now in this section we present the mechanism of the teaching, the mechanism for teaching the shot. So this is the essence. One might say that this is not even how we are going to teach the shot eventually, but this is the essence of how to teach the shot. We will use programs, schedules like random and blocked and serial practice and MotoWorld. We will use synthesis and structure of practice, okay, and all this. But again, if we remove all this, what do we have? We have the mechanism of shot teaching, the shot teaching mechanism. Okay, I hope this is understandable.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me your thoughts and your comments.
I have many questions for this.
Many questions. This shows you're a very good student.
Oh, of course. I don't know if it's on the point, but if you can answer me.
Okay.
Okay. Do we start first at the beginning with child-centered training, or you take the human and you put him on a court and try to teach him the techniques, all the mechanics from the beginning, from the first lesson?
What do you mean child-centered? Child-centered, you said coaching?
No, not coaching. To start with some exercises. First, to find the touch with the ball and the racket, and after on 1 or 2 lessons, there you take the human, the athlete, and start to teach him.
Okay. I think I understand what you're asking me.
Mhm.
So in the plan,
About the first day, I say about the first day.
yes, and more generally, okay. In the tennis digital method, okay, we have a plan, a progression, some steps, okay. So let's say, for example, that, of course, our goal is to teach tennis. This is very simple and obvious. So I say to somebody, okay, do this. For example, hit with your racket the ball this way. This requires a basic set of skills, of coordination, of accuracy, and so on. If we see that the athlete, for any reason, is unable to do that, and I remind to you that the goal of the session, of a tennis session, is to teach tennis, not to teach, generally speaking, skills that one should go to gymnastics, should have gone and should have done gymnastics when they were 3, 4, 5 years old, or skills that they should acquire in the K-12 education when you do sports in your school. So there, supposedly, you acquire general skills, general motor skills, and physical abilities. So for us, this is a prerequisite. Okay.
Okay.
So we have two cases. The first case is when we have children that are, for example, very young children. Okay, like
that's my next question.
Okay, 4 or 5 years old, 6 year old, or something like this. Mind you that at 6 year old, a 6 year old should be at the mature stage on all motor skills. Usually we see 10-year-olds that are not in the mature stage on all motor skills, but this is bad education, but let's leave that aside. So the first case, we have children that are really, really small, okay? So we have models, we will see them in the next sections, which are for motor skills. Okay, so we have the SBML and SFSB models, which is the synthetic and the analytic ones. And anyway, I will not go into this a lot now, but these all are models. They are 4 models that we use, for example, not only to strengthen our technique and our capacities, but if we see that in small children, we will use them so as to acquire the necessary motor skills so that it will be meaningful to apply the shot teaching mechanism at some point so as to teach tennis, okay, the biomechanical model of playing tennis. That's our final goal. And they are also useful if we wanted to strengthen the tennis-related motor skills and physical attributes a tennis player should have. So this is something that people will use them anytime and at any age and at any level. But regarding to your question, yes, if we have, for example, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 4-year-old that cannot do the shot teaching mechanism because they don't have the coordination to find, for example, the ball with the racket. Then we may go to these models. We have this line of defense, so to speak. So
okay.
If we take the most basic model, which is, for example, for motor skills, the synthetic SBML model. We will see it when the time comes. Okay, it's in the next. No, it's some sections in the future. So if we go there in the synthetic SBML model, and we see that the child is unable to even do the synthetic SBML model, then the next thing we can do is recommend a therapist. It means that the child has some sort of problem. Okay, for example, to make this clear, a basic exercise in the SBML model is to stand on one leg with eyes closed, for example. If someone cannot do that, this means that they need ergotherapy, physiotherapy, a neurologist to see them. Okay, we can't do something more than that. If one cannot stand on one leg or just hop on one leg, then what to do? It's a medical condition then. But the tennis distal method has all the necessary tools from what is not a medical condition, from the complete novice to world-class experts. So yes, there should be a basic set of skills before one tries to apply the shot teaching mechanism. Yes.
All right. I have next question. Hector, do you want to tell something, or I finish first?
Constantly listening.
Okay. My second answer is, which age do you? Next question. Yeah. Which age do we start to teach the universal reference point to the kids? If it's important to be after 6 years old, or I can do it on a kindergarten.
Okay. Today it was the last day in the special needs education school I work in, and there was a girl with Down syndrome, a young girl, and heavy mental retardation, and there was music, and she was dancing like any typical 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
is she?
Sorry?
How old is she?
13, 14.
Okay.
So she had all the movement. It was like you were watching a dancer in the TV, in the television. Okay. So children of any age, okay, from I mean 1 year old, 6 months old, they can very well imitate things. Okay. So we can. There are two things again here. Okay. The first thing is that we should establish a basic vocabulary. So when we have children and we say do this and do that, they should know what we mean. We say hit the ball and stop at the universal reference point. They should know where that is. Okay, of course they should know where that is. Or we should say, we could ask them, go and, I don't know, Hector, give us an example here, what we could ask from a child.
You could ask, you could make the kid, you could use the, I don't know, the analytical model of the SBML or SFSB and try to do an exercise, let's say.
Yes.
While using.
Or you could say, go and do this on the ladder and train this shot and train this footwork pattern and so on. And they should have a vocabulary. And you see children that have no initiative, that they always expect from you to show it and from them to just do it, that if you just ask them to do something, they don't know. They don't know anything. They don't know how to measure points, how to count, not measure, count, how to count points, the phases of the stroke, the basic phases, universal reference points, the mechanisms, and so on and so forth. So yes, it is mandatory that you establish a basic understanding and the vocabulary. And the more advanced the child or the teen or the adult, whatever is, the more rich this vocabulary is going to be. So yes, you need to use some notions before you teach before you use the short teaching mechanism. So at any age, the child, I mean, 3 years old, 4 years old, yes, they can understand, they can learn, they have the maturity, okay, and they have the intelligence to understand where the reference points are. This is a prerequisite for them before you switch to the short teaching mechanism. Of course, you can do many exercises that resemble the short, and this is what we do in the analytic SBML and SFSB models, okay? But if you are to teach the short teaching mechanism, then yes, you do need the reference points and the mechanism. And yes, children are able to understand this kind of knowledge, this type of these bits of information. They really can do it.
Okay.
You know, we live in a society and in an era that we have a double standard for children. On one hand, we treat them as if they are so stupid and so incapable and so immature. And on the other hand, their set of skills is extraordinary. They can talk and they can navigate one of these when they don't even know how to read. Okay. And I see it in special needs education. We have children that can't speak, they can't follow simple orders, they can't help themselves regarding toilet and stuff like that. They have a very big problem, okay? And they can't go to YouTube and choose what they want to watch. Okay, it's incredible. So this applies even more to typical children. And if you see what they do with 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds in, for example, in China, where they train them for circus, it's extraordinary.
All right. Next question.
Yes, if I can just say something. On one of the videos in this chapter, where it's called, is on the end, it's called Learning the Techniques. You have the
PowerPoint, yes.
Yes, the PowerPoint. You have a page on the PowerPoint, which it's in circles, and you start with the biomechanical model, then you go to the synthetic model of SBLM and SFSB, and then you go to the analytical, and then you can go to MotoWorks, drill structure, and all those.
Okay, there are levels.
Yes, you go through each level. So my guess, or my my estimation actually would be that depending on the athlete or the level of the athlete or his maturity or any other kind of assessment you can make for him, you can choose to work on each level a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit faster, a little bit slower. You will not stay there forever, of course, but you will always come back. Let's say, because I was thinking about the kid, and then it came to my head this picture from this presentation, and I thought, oh, maybe this kid should stay more on the physical part of technical training per se, and build a common sense and a language and a motor skills along, and then it will be easier for them and for the coach as well to establish and move on to the next level, such as the drills, playing, structure, synthesis, and so on and so forth.
We have to keep a very thin balance there, which is this. On one hand, we cannot and actually should not expect or wait for anyone to perfect one level before going to the next level. Okay. This is not the best way to progress. Because we will go into a spiral and we will go through the same things again and again. On the other hand, we should not go too fast. So what is the appropriate speed? When is it too early or too late to switch? There are some, so to speak, reference points that one can offer to know when to choose to make this transition, and it is, one could say, an art by itself when to choose to progress, because as we work with Hectoras, there are many times that I tell him, okay, this is enough, we haven't accomplished our goal here, but we should progress. I mean, we shouldn't stay here anymore, because it's like you feel that that there is
when it's time to switch on, when it's time,
yes,
when
it's like
he's ready to go on the next level, or to switch the exercise, or to switch the shot, the stroke.
Yes, exactly. So it's, so to speak, sometimes you feel the saturation of energy. You feel that the exercise or the energy or the mind of the children, it's saturated. It's no use adding anymore, and you should just move on. So yes, it would be great if the discipline and the level of the children is so good that you always accomplish what you go for. But it's unrealistic to expect that every time. And sometimes, in the end, okay, the distal method guarantees that you will reach your best possible performance, which will be a world-class performance, because our capacities are huge, okay, and our potential, so to speak, unlimited, as many are used to say. But you should also accept the reality that some things will never occur. The perfect level for some people might never occur. It's not that because I do the distal method, everything will be perfected. It is only the case that because I do the distal method, everything will be as perfect as possible. Okay.
And then I think it also depends on the coach. I mean, his assessment. You said before that learning when to move on or to stay is kind of an art. It is, and it also depends on the athlete and the coach and their relationship and their communication and how do they see themselves and each other.
Yes, don't forget that when I study the guitar or the piano, I study alone. Okay, so I don't need a coach or a trainer. I mean, I need a teacher and the school, of course, and everything. But I study 5 or 6 or 8 hours a day alone. And then once every week, for example, for 1 hour or 2 hours, I go to see my teacher and present him my work, and he makes the adjustments, and he or she gives me what to do next, you know. But in tennis, I study 6 or 7 hours a day if I'm a pro player and whatever. Not alone. apart except if I'm doing serves all day long, okay? But I don't study alone. It's like a part of myself is my coach because I study with him. It's not that, and this is something we miss because we have gotten used to it. It's not like we go to a tennis coach and he says, okay, I see what you're doing. Do this, this, and this, and I'll see you in a week. No, this doesn't happen. You say, do this, this, and this, and then you do it together with the player. You become a part of not only his practice, of themselves. It's like there is a synergy between the player and the coach. Okay, so yes, it is very important that this relationship is very strong and very well built, and you use also tools for this. We will see them in the final sections.
Okay. Next question.
Yes, shoot, please.
My question about the forehand technique is what grip does the player have on his hand on the forehand?
Okay. Okay, the answer is a bit a negative one, apophatic one, and it's not an extreme one.
Okay, it's an eastern grip, not continental.
No, not continental. Okay, East for forehand. And Eastern until a semi-Western, the most extreme. I'd say semi-Western, and yeah, the maximum.
So on the backhand and on the underspin shots and on service is continental.
It's always continental. Some coaches, in some cases anyway, in the second serves, for example, you may have an Eastern grip. Yes. In top spin serves and stuff like that. But you know, don't sweat about it. I mean, this also has to do a bit with style as well. So for example, you teach the form with continental grip, and if for any reason, as the athlete develops their style, they'd like to, you know, add some more, so to speak, extreme elements to their technique, or more spicy touches to their game. It's okay, because if you have started training a player with the distal method, so he has grown inside the school, so to speak, then it will have great foundations, okay, and whatever he or she chooses to do will be okay, because they will have the foundations to support anything they choose to do. Okay. For example, if you see great pianists from great piano schools, or from the same piano school, you see that not everybody plays the same, but everybody has a sound technique, and they just put their personality into their technique and their playing, of course, okay? But it's not like someone is doing a mistake. They have very rigid foundations, everybody.
Okay. My next question is about forehand again. And why are we pushing on side at the ending position on forehand with the elbow?
Okay.
Hit the ball and you do the ending position here. Why are you pushing with your elbow on side?
I think I provide explanation for this. Have you understood anything before I answer this question? Do you have any idea? Do you remember anything Is it something that I don't say or that I said that you don't understand regarding why we do this?
Maybe I didn't remember that, but on the video, I remember everything.
Okay, so as you remember, for
And
the
to put.
for
Okay.
the whip effect to happen, so for all the kinetic energy to be transferred to the ball, you should stop every previous segment. So as I hit the ball, okay, I stop the elbow and this accelerates, for example, okay. Now, a good way to accelerate even more the upper arm racket system when hitting the ball, and I explain this in my paper about biomechanics and about the contact point, the acceleration and the second derivative, the first derivative of acceleration is jerk. Okay, so jerk acceleration is the rate of change of speed. Jerk is the rate of change of acceleration. So speed, acceleration is the change of speed. Jerk is the change of acceleration, the rate of change. So if we try to study the jerk of the ball at the contact point, we see that in order to achieve a steady jerk, okay, the maximum acceleration, then we need to add something more. And the way to do this is to rapidly decelerate the elbow. So the idea is that the biomechanics say that you should stop the previous segment. The biomechanics doesn't say that you should accelerate or move the previous segment to the opposite side, okay? So your question is, okay, why do you accelerate it to the other side? The answer is that this is a transitional point, of course, and if you want to achieve an effect, you will have to find a proper way to train it. So if I just say someone, just stop your elbow, this is very different from trying to actually find a way to stop it. A good way to stop, to understand this stopping of the elbow, and a very good way to understand that when I hit, I should not stress my shoulder at all trying to stop the elbow. It should be so, all the energy should be transferred to the ball in such a way that I should even be able to counter the movement of my elbow. So this is for teaching the shot. It's not like when you're hitting the ball in a rally competitively, you do this. But if you do this very easily in practice, then you will be able to very effectively accelerate the racket and have your arm relaxed without losing any energy, because you will have done this exercise. If someone sees you and how you hit a ball in competition and doesn't know how you got there, he will try to imitate you, and he will never be able to actually do this, and he will come up with all kinds of bullshit. But if they don't know the mechanism of teaching the shot, they will never be able to really reproduce it, because it's really easy. For example, in Aikido, when we deflect the shot of the opponent from the side, when you see it, you think that the one that does the technique, Tori is the one that does the technique, and Uche is the one that receives the technique. It seems like Tori steps to the side. This is what you see. If you try to do it again, you will see, you will notice that your final position in relation to your Uke will be too far away. And you will try to fix this by forcing yourself to stay more closely. But what is the key? The key is that when you practice, when the Uke attacks, what you actually do is not leave to the side, but go inside. So if you go inside, like if you're attacking their throat, and you cut from the side, then you're in the right position, and there is no tension at all. But you can't see that. So the sensation from the Tori is not that I am being attacked and I leave. The sensation of the Tori is that I'm being attacked and I go inside. But you cannot see that when you just see a demonstration. If you try to repeat it, you find yourself too far away. Okay, this is exactly the same. Your sensation is that when you finish here, okay, it's that you are able to move your elbow in the other direction. You have this sensation, and this helps you to more effectively do the whip effect. Others should not be able to see that. Okay, maybe when you study the technique, when you do a rally in a practice session, you do some shots like this, okay, because you're trying to, this is studying the relaxation, keeping your shoulder relaxed. Maybe you want to study it, but that's not for competitive performance. That's not part of the model. It's part of the teaching model, not of the biomechanical model. So did you understand my
Yes.
view on this?
Yes. But I have one small answer about
Of course.
that.
Answer or question?
Yes, a question.
Okay.
Sorry, it's too late for me. We have, you know, Dimitris, where you training in the evening, in the afternoon, with Ilida. Sometimes he hit the ball and he pushing on side with his elbow. It's not in training. It's not his first time, first steps on training, but when he plays and he continues to play, I watched him many times to do this. How can you change it? Not to do this on a training, on a shot, on a stroke.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes. Dimitris, do you mean, if I understand that right, that he has seen that in the digital method training and he's overdoing it?
Yes.
Or okay. So the first answer, there are phases.
Teach him to do this position on the follow through, on the ending position. And when he learn it, when he understand it, he continued to do it on a training, and after a long time, when he learned it for the first time.
Okay.
How you change it? How you help him to play without this position?
Okay. The first question, the first answer that comes to my mind like this is you kill him and he stops doing it forever. Okay, so that's the most effective way. Okay, now if you want to another answer, I don't know why, but maybe if you want another answer, there are two things. The first one is that you go through phases. So at some phases, you know, some people are stuck with some idea for whatever reason, because they have it, they didn't understand it correctly, because they really liked it. And even if from a point on it slows them down, they really like the feeling and they keep doing something. And you constantly seeing people going through phases. And that is in everything that you have a school or a structured learning activity. For example, in compositions, when you're writing tests, sometimes students, you know, they are used, they like using some phrases a lot, even if they know, or even if they have thought that they should not do this, they like to use them, and you try to get them to move on. Okay. For example, yeah, at some point you learn how to use last but not least, and then you overuse it, and then you have to stop using it. Okay. So maybe it's such a phase. So he likes it, he does it again and again, and at some point he will stop it. You should expect this, not only with your elbow, with everything, that some children will get magnetized from something and they will get stuck with this. This is part of the learning process. It's phases. So it's not like one should go until this point and it's like you're developing your level and at some point you're there, perfect, you move on. Sometimes it goes like this, it goes more, and you should bring it back. This is also part of the learning process. The second answer is that for various reasons, we had to really accelerate the steps we took with Dimitris and really do many things. So it was like overwhelmingly new information for him. So he didn't have the time to process everything correctly. And for this reason, he's stuck with some ideas or some misunderstandings. So two lessons from this. First one is that you should understand that it's a normal part of the learning process that someone gets stuck to some things or overdoes some things. Okay, and the second thing is how fast is too fast. Supposedly, if you have Dimitris, for example, if you do the tennis digital method on him or any other system, by the way, there are no other systems in tennis, from very early on, okay, then most probably he will develop more smoothly, so to speak. Okay, but again, you can expect that something, and you know what? Sometimes you will never outgrow a habit for whatever reason, and that's also okay. I mean, yes, there are tools. He may need to do psychotherapy. He may need to do some neuro-linguistic programming or what have you. Okay, but in the end of the day, because you have to develop not 10 things, not 100 things, not 1,000 things, you have to develop thousands of things to develop as a player. Out of these thousands, you cannot control everything. You don't train 8 hours a day. You have other influences. We live a neurotic lifestyle. You can't control everything. So in the end of the day, yes, you will have to live with that. Not with Dimitris, especially with this. I mean, more generally speaking.
Okay.
Or we can just kill him.
Now, do you understand why this was my first answer? Because it gets so complicated after this that, I don't know, the simpler solution might work better. Anything else?
For including,
For concluding.
for concluding. Yeah.
For concluding. See, I've learned your English. I have made digital adaptations. So,
I saw on your videos for the first time how to twist on of the waist in backhand. It's something new for me. I like it most the underspin exercise, the movements where you do on the video on the beginning is very important, I think, for the player to understand the underspin shot. And today I try to teach on my students and was
and
so nice.
everybody learned everything perfectly. Yeah. Proximal adaptations to digital method. Yeah. What I want you to tell me or to affirm, okay, is that when seeing the mechanism for the shot teaching mechanisms for forehand, backhand, underspin, and serve, please confirm if it was for you like, oh wow, now it seems really simple and obvious how to do everything, even the most complex things that, you know, most trainers don't know how to do it, or you teach the slice for 2 years, 3 years, and you never find a really good way to teach it, and you just expect for the learner to be able at some point to just do it, and okay, he did it, let's move on. And now it's so obvious and so simple. Did you have this feeling?
Yes.
This is an important thing for me. And as I told you, this is the essence. Okay, it's if we remove everything else, it's what it remains in the end, the very essence of how to teach the shot. And it should be very obvious and easy and simple, and say, yes, of course I can teach a perfect serve with this shot teaching mechanism. Do you have this feeling?
On the first year where I start to training, or when I was a coach, sometimes I was scared about how to teach the slice shot. I think that I was thumbs up and hands up, and okay, I don't know how to do, but I knew the skill, the steps, but sometimes I was scared about that.
Okay.
And when I teach many times, then I found the solution.
Was your solution better than mine?
No, of course not.
I thought I'd improve it, but no, I'll just have to stick with that. Okay.
No.
Okay. Anything else? Any more questions?
I'm okay on my part.
Okay. So today it was a rich discussion.
Yeah.
And so see you next time with a very small section about lifts and lobs. It's like a continuation of what you've seen here. It was just too big and we had to split it a bit, that's all. So until next time, thank you.
Take care.